What's up, YouTube? So, the Miami Dolphins have just made their first wave of preseason cuts. We have released offensive lineman Colt Manor, wide receiver Devante Deadman, defensive lineman Jordan Williams, and cornerback Tino Alice. So, that's just kind of unfortunate. We have also placed Adam Shaheen on injured reserve as well, so that does free up another roster spot. So that's a thing. Colt Manor, I'm going to go through them all individually. Colt Manor, I was kind of hoping we would kind of hang on to for a little bit longer, just because he can play some center for you, and we don't have a whole lot of players that can do that. He's played a little bit of center and guard, so I was kind of hoping to see him kind of hang around a little bit longer. But it is what it is. He probably wasn't going to make the roster anyway, but still. And overall, I thought he was a pretty athletic player too, so I think he kind of fit decently for the scheme. But overall, I wasn't a big fan of his hands. I didn't think his play strength was really there. So it is what it is. I thought he might still end up being a practice squad guy eventually if no one picks him up. So moving past him, Devante Deadman is a guy that I know a lot of people were really were hoping would make this team. I kind of didn't think so. I was kind of excited when we signed him because he is a wide receiver, but he's more of a return specialist. We got him from the CFL. And unfortunately, it's really hard to make it in the NFL as just a return man. We tried to put him out at receiver a little bit, and it just really wasn't working. And it's kind of hard to warrant a roster spot. And, are you really going to want to keep him over like someone like a Lynn Bowden who can also do return stuff but gives you snaps at receiver and running back? Or Mohamed Sanu, who knows this roster? Trent Sherfield, who also knows the playbook? Things of that nature. Like, who do you cut to keep Devante Deadman here? It's just really hard to warrant just a return specialist at this point unless you're like a Devin Hester. And even then, in today's league, it's kind of questionable. And then defensive lineman Jordan Williams. He's a guy that is kind of interesting. He has some pretty quick feet for an interior defensive lineman, but his body type he's kind of one of those players that's in between being a defensive end and a defensive tackle. He's too small to be a defensive tackle and too slow to be a defensive end. He has the body type for a 3-4 defensive end, which works well for the Dolphins, but he doesn't have the traits to match that. He doesn't really play with enough control. His overall play strength isn't that good, even though his hands have some strength to him. And he's just kind of a very raw player. I was kind of hoping we would see him on the practice squad. It's still possible that we might. But he didn't make it past the first round of cuts, so it is what it is. And then Tino Alice, unfortunately, this cornerback room is deep. And the second he got injured, he was the odd man out. Personally, I thought D'Angelo Ross was going to be one of the people that was going to get cut. That's just that was just kind of my thinking. But it is what it is. But none of these guys are probably going to be on the active roster anyway. Let's just be honest. Colt Banwort was a guy I was kind of rooting for just because he does have some athleticism, especially moving forward. He can climb to the next level and do some zone blocking things in that regard. So I was kind of hoping for him to kind of stand out and be like a backup center for us. But it just didn't work out, so it is what it is. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, appreciate hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.